new on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new Connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at CuriosityStream.com.
J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 Mini Bites here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on, J360 Legion? How are you all doing tonight? And yes, don't let the theme song fool you. This is still a Monster Fest-based episode. And man, let me tell you what, I've had some pretty good laughs over the week, but I want to go ahead and let you all know that the Monster Fest is in full effect. This whole thing is actually a entirely 6-week event, but you know, you still got like, 5.5? So, you know, we're just doing it up around here. Monsters here, movies over there, music, all this stuff is just coming together, and it's company-wide, so it involves every single J360 show, including the Mini Bites. And speaking of which, we're going to talk about some real-life monsters on this show. You know them, I know them. The people that will love to tell you what to do and to try to take control of your life and mine, especially as we become e-celebrities and we go ahead and we try to take the independent media by storm. You realize that these people are all over the place, but the main hangout where they exist at is Twitter. Yes. We're discussing cancel culture, or aka the modern witch hunt. And you gotta love this stuff nowadays, man. Like, I sit right here and I just look at this stuff from time to time, whether I'm on the day job, whether I'm doing my real job at J360 Productions, or like, you know, anything. I just see them come out of the woodwork. And they're over here trying to say what is right and what is wrong. There's ignorance and strength, or strength and ignorance, I should say. And it's just, you see it go back and forth all the time. Whether it's like Gamergate, Comicsgate, any something gate, punk ass gate, things like that. You know, it's just like, it gets to the point where it's really, really crazy. And see, it's not just one person, it's like tens, or there's botting involved, or there's just people coming out the woodwork saying all this stuff without no rhyme nor reason. And it's just getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Well, actually, it's been ridiculous. It's just to the point where it's, I don't know, just majorly stupid and malformed nowadays. I mean, see, the thing is, I'm not saying that you should be on anybody's side, because I'm usually on my side any damn way. You know what I'm saying? I just look at it from time to time and I'm like, how are you this way? And then how did you get to this point? You understand? And it's amazing, because it's like every time I either do jams, or it's every time the J-Man show comes around. But like I said, the J-Man show is like my greatest revenge against everything. So it's like, you know, oh, we J-Man's a problem, man. We can't get him to sign to anything that we do. And I'm telling you, I've lost contact with a lot of associates these past couple of weeks because of it, because I choose not to be a part of certain things. See, I have freedom of, you know, I have certain freedoms that people take advantage of, you know what I mean? Like that wish that they could disagree, wish that they could speak out. And I've heard people say like, yo man, you're very inspirational for why you do it. And I'm like, well, thank you, but you have that ability too. You just gotta know, like, you know, because I've always known that I'm all I got. Yeah, sure, I mean, I have a great relationship, and I have, like, you know, a great supporting cast, and, like, you know, the Jam Fam, the tribe, and everything. But, you know, I also know that there's that other side of the spectrum where people start acting a certain way because they want to impose their beliefs on people. And then I always say this, you know what? I'm not having it. You can have your belief system, but it's something you got to be strongly about. And the thing about it is, if it starts to do something against my belief system to a point, you see, then it's Newton's third law, and I am not going to back down. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to impose my beliefs on you, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you know why. See what I'm saying? And then I'm going to stomp it down right then and there, which is why, like, you know, I'm always waiting for somebody to really go off the deep end, you know? But you see, a big example of that stuff is like the whole Super Mario Brothers voice cast thing. I have never seen this sort of backlash before in my day. And I'm like this. That's still somebody's job, you jerk. That's still somebody, like all these people here. Like, I get it. Mario's a big deal, especially when you're playing as him. But, you realize in the video games, Mario doesn't really have a fleshed out personality entirely, because the game developers themselves said that whoever's playing as Mario should see themselves as Mario. Sure, he exclaims and, he showcases, like, actions like that. But half the time, he's not really talking and stuff until, like they did that press conference for that Mario Party or that Mario Kart game. One of the team-up games. But it's like this, though. I mean, you guys are mad about Chris Pratt? Like, what the hell did Chris Pratt do? I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy and Parks and Rec were around, people actually liked him. And then, we got to this point where people have irrational hate against him. Was it because that he's married to the Schwarzenegger girl? Is that what that is? I mean, is that what that whole thing is about? Or something he must have did that really got y'all pissed off. Or, then again, I know a lot of y'all were pissed off at him because he did the Tony Stark thing in Infinity War. I remember that. But you see, once again, you'll realize that Twitter is a hive. And it's been a hive for a very long time regarding, film Twitter or any kind of Twitter, Black Twitter sometimes. I mean, you see it everywhere you go. Especially as a content creator, you're like, oh my God, who's arguing with who now? And you're seeing people go on an outrage and say, oh, I want to proclaim, I want this whole thing canceled. I want somebody fired. I want blah, 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 blah. Why? Because it didn't go your way? And some of y'all like to do the race swap thing and all this other stuff. And when somebody doesn't agree with you, all hell breaks loose, right? That's the end of the world, right? You know what it is that a lot of these people were bullied or mistreated growing up. And you see, the internet has given any and everyone a voice. But now, the so-called victim and the explainers are the ones that are doing the bullying and doing all the charging and all this other crazy stuff. And see, nobody's really being the adult in the room or calling it out as it is. And they're trying to go ahead and try to cancel people. And they won't stop until the point where it's like the person can't get another job or the person is committing suicide and not around anymore. That's how bad it's gotten. But nobody remembers the idea of due process. Nobody remembers the idea of, innocent until proven guilty. So you're going to have to prove things. But you see, nowadays, because we live in the culture of listen and believe, it's gotten worse. You see what I'm saying? And then you notice that sometimes listen and believe has a lie in the middle. People can lie really good nowadays. So somebody around rhyme or reason fell asleep at the wheel. And that's very, very scary. You ever see this Twilight Zone episode called The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street? The monsters are due on social media. And the thing is, they don't look no different than me or you. It's kind of like sometimes, some people, who are content creators are saying, go against other content creators because to rip on other content creators is their content. I look at people on opposite sides of the spectrums all the time. And I'm like, okay, I see what that point of view is, and I see what this point of view is, but somebody will take somebody like Gina Carano and make them into a media darling, and then Gina Carano does what she does, she gets fired, and then you see people get an uproar about it, or you see the far right have something to say, and you see the far left have something to say. Whereas me, myself, I'm like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, she comes from money. She had a pretty significant career in MMA. She's going to be fine. But whereas it's somebody that's making their step into the business, step into the game and see all the cesspool and all the crazy stuff rising up and everything. I look at it from other content creators, and I look at it from other podcasters and all this other stuff. And I'm like, because I remember there was this one group of podcasters that ended up becoming garbage people as far as I know. They tried to tell me about how to market my stuff, and I called them out on it, shut them down. But then on one day, they try to connect with me and try to say oh yeah, we cool. And I pretty much took the gif of them, which is me throwing them in a dumpster because that's where they belong at. And they should be happy I didn't light a match. Because there's quite a lot of people who have the abilities that you and I do to create content and stuff, but it's such trash and garbage and it smells the all high heaven. And then at the end of the day, because they're not original in what they do, or because they don't have a premise in what they do, they try to take it out on other people. They try to run around with their pitchforks and torches because that's what they have until you You know, the thing about it is, I'm going to find the nucleus of the problem, and I'm going to lance you like a boil. I'm going to do what I got to do. That's the difference between me and anybody else around here. You see? And then you got people who come up and want to dictate what your content should be. And that's another mistake that you try to make with J-Man. You're just not ready for me. Do you understand? And it's to the point where it's like, I'm saying this. Like, I see, like, there are times where my follower count goes up. And then I see there are times where my follower count tries to go down. I will go on and say this. Instagram is just as guilty because Instagram is Facebook, in addition to all these other social media sites, because for some reason, they're not behind the creator. They want to say that they are. They want to go ahead and push that PR that they might be. But as soon as you start calling this stuff out, all of a sudden, now they want to go ahead and they want to put a stop to you. Because I've noticed, like, some of the Monster Fest content, you know, they try to go ahead and do the whole shadow ban thing on. And matter of fact, I was on the verge of 4,000 followers on Twitter. No, I'm over that. 4,000 followers on Instagram. And it got dialed back significantly. Like, it's around 3,351 now. And I'm wondering where the hell the rest of that went. So I know what it is. And at the end of the day, it doesn't faze me much because I got a lot to say and I know full responsibility of what I'm saying. I'm not going to apologize for speaking my point about things, and I'm not going to apologize for the way I go about things nowadays. But like I said, be mindful of that. The monsters that are around, most of them know you. Plenty of them know you on social media, and they're sitting right there waiting. As soon as your popularity hits, they're going to do what they can to try to spike you down. Me, on the other hand, I'm not going to let it stop me because there's going to be more to come from this. And I have my own damn website anyway. So there's some alleviations to this. Check out j360productions.com, if you will. But before we go even deeper, I got to go ahead and let you guys know what your schedule is. Okay, so you got the J360 Mini Bites right now. You got the J-Man show happening tomorrow. Thursday is a little open, but you might get a new show with me, Marco, and Mustafa on it called State of the Art. I'll keep you posted on that. But on Friday, you're going to have the J360 Hangouts, and then you have the J360 Power Play happening on Saturday. Yeah, I'm moving it to Saturday and Sundays. So, you know, just going ahead and give like a little breaker in between. Things like that. And then also, Jams 33 has been announced, and track submissions are open for that. Remember, always 2 tracks, okay? 2 tracks to every artist, and a link that best represents and sells you. That way, so, you know, people can invest in you and, you know, buy your music or buy the merch, you know, whichever way you like to do it. And that's why it's a team effort. But yeah, and all that I'm saying is just, you know, like, don't be surprised when people start acting up and then you start seeing like all this crazy stuff, this flame war, this beyond petty limit that goes on when it's social media. But like I said, you know, the Mario Brothers movie doesn't even have a trailer yet. We didn't even see what it looked like. Like any of these properties that come out nowadays and people get in an uproar about it, it's going to make its money because it's already a pre-sold franchise. But, you know, it's just all of the toxicity that you have to travel through. And that's really a problem. And it's a damn shame, too, but it's really a problem. But much like me, I don't mind fighting the mob, and I have been detached from a lot of things for a long time. But I'm well aware of everything around me. You see what I'm saying? And whose side am I on? My side. And whether I'm hero or villain depends on the nature of the episode and your damn opinion. So make sure you work on being true to yourself at all times, all right? And then as we do the Monster Fest here, let's have a lot of fun. Let's not let anything get in the way. And be mindful of the monsters we build. But until then, though, this is J-Man signing off. I will catch you all later.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.